Welcome back to the North Carolina Transportation Museum, Part 3, the Roundhouse. The Bob Jillian Roundhouse was built in 1924 and is the second roundhouse that was built at the Spencer Shops, that replaced a smaller one built in 1896. The Bob Jillian Roundhouse is a 37-stall roundhouse and is the largest structure that remains in operation in North America. Home to about 40 locomotives and rail cars, the Roundhouse has been named a Historical Mechanical Engineering Landmark by the American Society of Engineers. Exhibits at the Roundhouse focus on the lives of the men who made the Spencer Shops run and the history of the railroads in North Carolina. Aviation exhibits are also displayed, including artifacts from Piedmont Airlines and a full-size replica of the White Flyer. You can receive a map of the building in the orientation room, and then you can see what the building has to offer. As we exited the orientation room, we'll be passing by a few steam locomotives that have been miraculously restored, not to operating condition, but to static display. On this locomotive, we could climb into the cab. Let's have a look and see what the cab of a steam locomotive looks like. As we enter the cab of the locomotive, I'll show you the tender where the coal and water is stored. As we pan around, you can see they put a LED screen in there with a fire in there. If you look closely, it looks like the fireman's injector is open. So the fireman must be coming back to shut that very soon. We're sitting in the engineer's seat now. And I'll stick the camera out in just a moment so you can see what it looks like as an engineer sticks his head out the window. Well, that's about it for pretending to be an engineer. Let's head on back and get on with the tour. As we come down, you can see the 111, which is an 040 tank locomotive. This steam locomotive is a weird one. This one is a fireless cooker locomotive, which is the same wheel arrangement as the 111. Enough with the steam locomotives, now we're heading on into the diesel locomotives. We're just making a quick detour, and I'm going to be showing you the Spencer Worker. This part of the shops shows you and tells you what all the mechanical engineers did to help rebuild the steam locomotives from the ground up. Behind that green door is the RoundHouse Office, which I believe the engineers would get their orders from. And right ahead of us is an old railway crane that helped remove engines that have derailed from the tracks and put them back on. Well, that's it for this section. Let's head on into the next. In this section, it's all about the modes of transportation that helped get Piedmont Airlines in the air, along with a few steam-related artifacts. This area in the roundhouse is mostly for the White Flyer, and this is where they have the replica of it. let's head on into the next area, which is the restoration shop of the Roundhouse, and this is where they restore most of their rolling stock. When I was there, they were restoring the 611. I've tried to get a few good shots of her, but I really couldn't with the glare from the lights, the glass. I believe they were still replacing stables the day that I went. As of right now, she's back in Roanoke, Virginia at the Transportation Museum there. Right through here is their actual machine shop where they make all the parts for all the rail cars and the locomotives that they restore. And here are a few cars that are in the process of getting restored. Let's head on into the last area, which is the riding the rails section of the Roundhouse. And in this part, there are a lot of references to Tweetsie Railroad and the East Tennessee and Western North Carolina Railroad. As of right now, the North Carolina Transportation Museum does not have any active steam locomotives on their train roster. In 1925, Shea Locomotive was operational a while ago, but as of right now, she is inoperable, needing to do her mandatory overhaul. The Shea locomotive is different than regular locomotives, as she is a geared locomotive. meaning all the wheels are powered and her boiler is offset to accompany the pistons and cylinders. The car we are about to enter is a mail car. Yes, you heard that right, a mail car. A mail car was a car on the train that would pick up mail from towns, sometimes when the train was still moving, and drop it off sometimes when they were still moving too. They would also sort the mail so they could put it into bags and deliver it to its final destination.
As soon as the last pouch is made ready, the truck grabs his safety goggles and goes to his station. The engineer is required to signal the RTO car that they are approaching a non-stop station.
The car we're about to enter is a hospital car. This car is where injured soldiers would be put on so they could be taken back to their bases and healed up.
But with a vast ocean separating America from this escalating chaos, a precarious veil of security envelops the country, only to be unexpectedly and violently pierced when the Japanese bomb Pearl Harbor.
December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
And so began America's
I hope you liked what you saw, but we're to the end of the video. If you did like what you saw, please subscribe to my channel and like the video. If you do that, you'll be in line to see my next part on the North Carolina Transportation Museum, Part 4, the Flu Shop.